Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to bring to you all something that I haven't done for a while. This is actually what I used to do before I even got into aquascaping, and no success from a terrarium level. So today I'm going to go through and make a terrarium. It's going to be my, I don't know, maybe 5th time trying this. Way before I got into aquascaping, I tried terrariums, but they didn't really grow as well as I wanted them to, especially for the type of plants. I think it's more of a humidity thing. So with that, I got a terrarium in terms of the container for it, something with a lid and some holes for ventilation, but really trying to contain that humidity in that terrarium to make sure there's growth. Now, I think that's where my hiccups were last time, were the open top terrariums, not creating a dense humidity for the types of plants that I added into the terrarium itself. I'm also going to have a bottom water layer in terms of it's probably going to be about an inch worth of water still in the terrarium. That way it continuously adds humidity into it, so I'm not having to continuously mist it. So this is a low maintenance budget, by the way. Yes, I did a budget finally for the terrarium because I figured all of you may want to go through and try this. So I didn't go with the other brands in terms of glass containers and what there was out there. But enough about that. Let's get into the terrarium build itself. So I ended up purchasing this online and I may be regretting it. So it's a triangle, essentially a cylinder, that has a lid, and it has holes here, here, here for ventilation. It actually has one at the top too. I'm assuming you can water down into it. But the reason why I'm regretting it probably is because it's a cone. So it is wider at the bottom, so it's gonna be harder to escape. But hey, that's what we're here for. We'll figure it out. But the reason I got this one is because it had a lid and it came with a light. But I just found out this light actually doesn't have a timer. So that's going to be a hiccup because I don't want to have to turn it on and off every single day. So I'll probably order a different light, maybe a puck to go on top of this thing. We'll see. But for now, I'll turn it on and off until I go through. But this whole thing with the stand and light was actually $40. It was the cheapest one that was glass that I liked for the aesthetic online on Amazon. I don't even think it was 50 bucks. It was $39.99. You'll see a link in the description if you want to purchase one yourself. No affiliation to any of these, just most cost effective. There are some terrariums out there that are like DIY full kits. I saw them on Boost Plants. I was gonna purchase one. The only thing is they were like $89 for the cheapest and then up to like $100. And I was going for the budget type this time. And those came with a light, and you can change the ventilation as well for the top, and they were cylindrical, so it was a lot easier than more of a triangle pyramid. It's gonna be a little bit harder to escape because it's wider and you would want bigger things in the bottom, and to get those bigger things in through a smaller opening is gonna just be a little bit harder. But we'll figure that out together. Going back to the other DIYs or complete kits online, which come with soil and everything, I'm just going to be winging it as always for this and see what works. So I'm going to be using my typical pond aquascaping substrate for the nutrient dense layer. I will be using lava stone for this. I didn't have any black lava stone here at the house. I had red from an old scape that I did. So we're going to use red. It's going to look good with the Pacifica sand that you may have seen. I don't know which one I'm posting first, but I scaped a nano tank that had that Pacifica sand, which had some red and black. So I think it's going to really make it pop with that type of new UNS sand. So I'm going to be using that. The pond soil that I had already purchased for all of my other tanks that I do builds with. So there was no cost there, but it was around $20. You can use it for every other scape. So just think of that over a span of time. That's very cost effective. The UNS sand was a little bit more expensive. It was $29.99 for the smaller pack of it. But be aware, you can use that over and over again on other scapes too. So I just did that with my cube nano build, and now I'm adding it into this terrarium. So again, You can split that cost. I can split it 3 ways because there's going to be enough left over for even an additional one. So thinking of that. And then plants, you can go to your local nursery. Someone commented about going out into nature and finding it. That would be great if I had that capability here in Arizona, but we live in a valley and it's 110 out right now. It's summer. There's just no way I'm going to be able to go and get plants out there that I'm going to be leveraging for a high humidity terrarium build. So I purchased mine. That's where the cost is going to come into play. You can go to your local nursery. They are more cost effective. I just went to one to try and find a bunch. But again, it's 110 and all of the nurseries around here don't have these macro like ferns that I was looking for. So I ordered mine online from Boost Plants. That's what I'm going to be adding into here, tissue cultures and some stem plants. So just kind of being aware of what I'm adding and what you can add into this terrarium build as well from a cost standpoint, because I'm trying to make a budget. Low maintenance, that's why I'm going to have a water base so I don't have to keep going through and misting it every day. And then we're going to find out a light that actually has a timer because I don't want to have to come in here every single morning before I go to the office and turn it on and off. So that's what we're going to be building. That's kind of the ethos of this terrarium. I'm excited to see the growth of this. I've been seeing a lot online and I'm hyper interested. Let me talk about one other tank that I really wanted to get. So there is the prism tanks. The only thing is, again, is the cost. So I wanted to make this a budget one. Maybe I'll do a medium budget one later on because I really like the prisms from UNS as well. Those have a lid. They have a small hole on the top for ventilation. That would be a great idea. I was going to do it, but again, I wanted to give you all a budget desktop type terrarium that you can all have in your office or home. So let's go through and build this thing out together. Alrighty, so here we are and it's infinite glory and the light's pretty good. Again, there's just I have to manually turn on and off. I don't know how hard it is to put timers on things nowadays. Like I would have paid an extra a couple bucks just to have a timer. But so my idea for this is to create a valley here. So 2 high points here, 2 high points here, water here. So again, a valley high, well, a cliff high into a valley here. And this is where I'm going to have a main plant as well. So let's go through and start adding some of the, I don't know if I want to add the hardscape yet. I'm just trying to think. So I start adding it, I guess I can add the hardscape from a lower end and then add the nutrient dense layer behind it. So again, this is all lava stone I used on a previous scape before. And see, there's just, I know it will fit in the main rung of it, but it will just not fit here. So this is a little bit harder of a scape than I've done before because again, I don't really have much room to add more volume in this higher area. Okay, so what I think I need to do is add my substrate first. I already know I'm going to have my main plant here kind of at the center of where these 2 high points are going to be. So I'll take this out. I'll start adding my sand because my sand's going to be the one that's going to be helping me add volume to this. I'm also going to add some nutrient dense substrate. So again, if you guys haven't seen this before, This is the pond plant media from Aquascape. Get on Amazon, you can see a link in the description. So I'll add just a small layer of this in the back. So when roots get down to that lower area, they will have some high nutrients for growth. All right, so I'm gonna add the Pacifica sand. So I basically made it low here, lower, higher, higher. And I'll start going through and adding my hardscape. All right, so I need to break up some more lava stones. Let me go back. The stone I have is just too large, so I'm gonna smash some more up to help build up this back area. All right, we're back. So I got a bunch more broken up. I also need to be mindful that the nutrient dense soil is very low in here. So I need to add some root tabs. And I don't know if that's gonna be good enough. We'll all learn together as this thing starts to grow out. All right, so I used to have this tool from when I did bonsai terrariums. So this is just like a little suction, so it's going to help me get some of this sand that I over poured over there. But let's keep building this up. All right, I think we're good. No control sand, which I thought I was gonna add. Bring this a little bit closer so you guys can see it a little bit better from the elevation. So we got our sides, and instead of it keeping a valley in the back, I just felt like since the plant's gonna be, the main focal plant's gonna be here, that we'll have other draping plants and some mosses in here as well. So I'll start adding some accent stones in the front. Perfect. That is all I need. So what we can do now is start to add some plants. First we'll add the plants in the back, draping over. We'll add some mosses in here as well. And then we'll go through and add our main focal one at the end, and then the foreground plants. So I'll go through and wash some of the tissue cultures and explain what we are adding. So we went through and added our plants. Apparently I wasn't recording, so fun stuff. There's the HC. So HC is what I added from this area. That is a carpeting plant. So you have HC. Then we added in the back here some of our cotyle, something like that. But again, we have our HC here. We have this main focal plant, which you'll see a name pop up now. That's going to be the main area. We added some Christmas moss, some more HC along this area, carpeting here. I took one rock out that was back here. It was too high. It didn't seem level and rounded. But as you start looking at this from a top view, this is what it looks like. Bring you all back down. We'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna have the water up to right about here, maybe a little higher. And if you didn't know, Christmas moss, which is pretty cool, if you grow it, and I grew it in my pelletarium, it'll stay as small strands versus like in a submersed state, they grow wider, more like a Christmas tree. So that's pretty cool if you're ever wondering about your terrariums. Can you grow different types of mosses, and how do they act immersed? So they're pretty cool that way. The other thing is, again, the water, the light may change, but thank you all for tuning in to my probably 5th terrarium. We'll see how this one goes now that I've been aquascaping for a while, been going through and learning things. I did add some more API root tabs for some areas as well, see how the humidity helps grow them to those areas of nutrients. Again, the nutrient dense substrate in the back, it's not all actual nutrient rich soil. This is the Pacifica substrate that I added into here. But again, thank you all for tuning in to this terrarium build. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you have any suggestions for future terrarium builds, this is a budget build, please put them in below as well. I'm probably going to be doing a medium tech at some point with a prism build from UN, but this is just a super budget terrarium build essentially. And if you listen this long, please take the moment to subscribe and like. Really helps out the channel, and I truly appreciate when all of you do that. It really lets me know if I am doing a good job for you all or not. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're new, please subscribe. But thank you all for tuning in to this terrarium build, and we'll go through, and there's really no need to do a fly through since we're here. So we'll all see you on the next build that I'm going to post on this channel, and see you all then.